It was just a city, but these chose to come to settle. Nippur was just a city, but these chose to come to settle. Durgashimar was just a city, but these chose to come to settle. Just Idsala was its pure river, just Kargashtina its harbor quay, just Karusar its mooring quay. What am I reading? Sumerian poetry. How did that sound? A whole book of it, folks. Well, guess what? I'm doing great. How are you doing? We live in a judgmental world, and I've had some issues with that. We talk about issues on my channel now and other sorts of things because I'm not able to jump past the current ideas of the world. Like Plato had said that the world is dominated by ideas. A lot of folks have told me that they know a lot, but they couldn't demonstrate their knowledge. That's fine with me because in the back of my mind I knew that they were incorrect and they didn't truly know the secret doctrines of nature and the Pythagorean monad. But I come from a place that not everyone comes from. I feel karmically intertwined with the Indo-European ancient race of people from my last life, and I've been able to access the information regarding my past lives up until 26,000 BC when I was a Neanderthal, and I had quite a fabulous life at that stage. Before then, my life's get dark and I haven't accessed it yet. But being a Neanderthal was probably my best life. They may joke at that, but they don't have the experiences that I have. And that's their mind. And whoever they are that interferes with your mind doesn't possess your mind. So as long as you don't think about the interference people and their thought patterns, they can't affect your eternal soul. Life is forever. H.P. Blavatsky, Madame Blavatsky, currently still undiscovered and also completely misunderstood by 99.9% of those who read her work, because I challenge anyone from Theosophy in a little game, and that would be a game of cards. Do you think that Blavatsky was a liar when she said that Satan is Lord? Does Theosophy practice Satanism anymore? I don't think so. And Satanism, quite frankly, has been completely reformed into a religion, which it is not a religion. The Sumerians are not that deep as you may think. The deeper people were other people. But I'm not going to get into that because ideas dominate the world. So I'm going to start giving you some facts, but I'm not going to tell you people the things that you can ridicule that easily, because the world is formed by groups. There's a group here and a group here, different religious philosophies, different bullshit. I'm an individual that stands on this plane of existence, and I actually didn't want to be born. My mother told me, bless her soul, that I fought during birth and they had to pull me out. That's because of my past lives that I gained some occult powers, and I've been dealing with that from day one. And I was made fun of a lot, and I was always an outcast in the mainstream world, which has only served me to become stronger. And they couldn't do anything to pull me down. And there's other people like you, if you're watching this, that know a little bit of things about the mind, the altered dimensions of reality, which I can actually serve you a piece of this cake of an altered dimension. And at this point, no one's going to say anything because we're in the new millennium. And all these things that are struggling and chaos, they think the world's turning so bad now. Everything's so awful now. It's not. It's the same. Things are great. I can tell you right now, things are great in this world right now. Great as ever. I'm not just saying that. It's a fact. And the solar kings, who are entities, if all these people knew about entities, they wouldn't have so many questions. But modern science, physical science, material science, bludgeons you with these non-spiritual ideas. They don't even tell you where the soul is made or comes from. Maybe it was never made, maybe it always existed. So, what I have to tell you is the solar kings, which are entities, because everything's an entity. We're in a non-physical reality, and it's permanently that way. There's nothing physical about it except the illusion in your mind, and Buddha says so. That the solar lords have told me, and anyone could try to talk to them. But I recommend a vegetarian diet because it raises your intellect, and we'll get to that later. But they told me to stay away from the civilizations on Earth, and that's the key to happiness, that's the key to spiritual survival, that you're going to exist after death through immortality. These things people aren't even considering right now because they're brainwashed with religious shit. And I don't like religious shit. This is about nature. This is about the ancient doctrines. This is about H.P. Blavatsky's monad and the discussions of true philosophy, not theosophical bullshit. Because theosophy died after Blavatsky. And that's a proven fact. And I challenge theosophy to tell me otherwise, that you're a real theosophist because you read Blavatsky. Bless anybody that has the common sense to know that Blavatsky was satanic in a good way. Because Satan isn't bad, man. That's what they want you to believe from the Bible. The Bible is based on Satan. On Sat, or Seth, the ancient god of truth. And that was the key, one of the keys. I got other keys from my Indo-European past lives. Because there's people in Europe for 10,000 years, and we're talking about Eastern Europe near the Ural River, almost near Persia now, all over there. They don't have records of it. Because they didn't have records of these civilizations of Europe and the very multicolored things that went on, from sexual orgies in one town to highly advanced civilizations trained by the Egyptians, we have proof of it. The Bosnian pyramid is real. I don't need Edgar Casey to tell me about anything. The guy's a liar. Look at it like this. You like that stuff, you're going to be misled into the devil, into the Pythagorean devil, the materialistic realm. The New Age philosophy is dominated by strange extraterrestrial spirits and false beliefs. The truest thing is the ability to reason within your mind, to see left and right for what it is, to look directly on to the truth and not be afraid, to not find fear in the darkest moments of your soul. Because when you tap into that primal energy, in the tarot it's the Fool. Zero is the primal energy. When he becomes aware of that primal energy and it starts stirring in him, what's he going to do? He wants to find out more, or he goes crazy, becomes an alcoholic, becomes a pothead or something. That's all great, isn't it? Not really. But here's the point I'm trying to make. You don't have to have records of history, because all the stuff that they're trying to tell you in modern science, modern history, everything that you're trying to be told in this reincarnated Roman Empire, which is exactly what it is, and it's nothing more, and it's not that advanced. The society we're in is not that advanced, it's not that futuristic, and it's not that smart. And it's made to be temporary. The reason they're doing all this disposable shit is because the society's not going to last that long. That's just a fact. In the next 10, 15 years, there might not be internet the way we know it. And I wouldn't even care, because there's always a way around. The underground has always prevailed. Even during the witch trials, a lot of innocent women and children were burned alive. But these things have been going on. The witch trials still exist. But through the methods of the Indo-European runes and the revelation that there was one religion throughout the whole world is found in true theosophy. But I'm not going to talk about theosophy because it's connected to the dumb political bullshit and black magic that people did for them to make it look bad. And that was all last millennium. We don't have to be trapped. No one has to be trapped. We're in a non-physical dimension. This entire earth is an illusion. The mind is the truest thing, because if you develop your mind, soul, body in all ways, healthy living, happiness, and reflection on philosophy, on nature, on spirit, the truth, not Maya, illusion. Maya is illusion. So if you keep watching, I'm going to hook you up with some stuff. I know there's people that want some stuff. There's other people that are just curious about me. That's okay. Who's me? It could be all. We could all be all. It doesn't have to be that much ego to be effective, to try and penetrate the stagnation of ideas on this world, to benefit the cosmos, and to help our brothers and sisters in the cosmos, because the cosmos, as Giordano Bruno has said, is filled with universes and life, and it's endless. There's all types of life forms. And just because we're in a physical body doesn't mean that the aliens have the same level of spirit, level of dimension. They say multidimensional, but it just means spirit, because spirit could be in so many wavelengths that we don't know. Our wavelengths could be localized to this planet. It makes perfect sense. Across the stellar universe, it's undifferentiated matter, meaning matter, let's say less differentiated, because undifferentiated would be pre-cosmic. So you look in the works of the ancient doctrines and you see what nature is. Nature is the absolute truth. And the animal spirits are the entities from the gods. The gods are not manifested except through natural form. So natural form is a living substance, and each molecule and each thing, be it a dead piece of wood, which we call dead, there's nothing dead. So that's the negativity, is when they think things are dead. Nothing is dead. There's no way that anything can be dead, except for certain levels of external experience that we will never ever see, as long as we don't fill around with necromancy. And I mean real necromancy. I don't mean Simon Necromonicon. It's not that. I'm talking about more serious stuff from the higher levels. So for the most part, when you die, everyone goes to the same place, Deva Shan. That's just a place of paradise within the mind. It's more real than this world, but that doesn't mean this world isn't real. The way that this world is real is when we overcome the desire to take part in absolute materialism, because materialism is dead. But I just said nothing is dead. In esoteric philosophy, there's absolute oxymorons. They're absolutely perfect that way, because it's two different strands of the same thought. So it's philosophical. It's classified through classifications. It's Platonic, basically. He's not the greatest philosopher. He was the greatest, probably, university teacher in the world, and the most caring person towards his students. But the greatest philosopher that comes to mind is probably Proclus, that we know of. They don't really know that Egypt goes back many thousands of years. before the history of it that we know of.